welcome to the May 12th, 2026 Board of Park Commissioners meeting. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I do, yeah. No, it's on. Go ahead.
The next agenda item is my oath of office, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So if you would stand,
Yes.
put up your right hand, and then your oath is in front of you.
Oh, I read it, sorry.
Yes, you read it. Yep, I'm sorry.
I was going to repeat after you.
You can repeat it yourself.
I, Julie Bissinger, do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Ohio, and will, to the best of my ability, faithfully, diligently, and impartially perform the duties of Commissioner for the Anderson Township Park District.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And if you would, there's two of them, sign both,
Yes, I will do that.
and then we'll get
Thank you.
Brian to witness and.
Okay. Next, and I have all those documents, thank you, and I'll sign off on the ethics documents.
Okay.
Next is the election of officers.
So this is our proposed slate of officers. This year, Amy Broghammer as intern for president, Richard Shelley as vice president, Jeff Rosa, Kevin Comerford, and Julie Bissinger as members of our.
I'm gonna refrain from becoming the president. I'd like to pass the opportunity on to Richard Shelley, who is next in line.
Well, I make a motion that we elect Richard as the president and Jeff Rosa as the vice president.
Second.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes,
Ms. Broghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You may take over.
Might be the easiest thing ever. I was gonna say, Julie, were you ready for that moment? She jumped that pretty quick, didn't she? Let's go on to the agenda approval then. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda? So moved.
Second.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes,
Ms. Broghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
And I hate to do it to our public, but we need to immediately retire to executive session. So let me find our statement in here that I'm supposed to read. All right. Yeah, I'm in some trouble here. Somebody find that and read it?
Do you want me to
Yeah,
make it? Sure.
if you would, look what happened on the screen.
oh yeah, it's split. I move that we go into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Second.
And we were also, excuse me, at this point, I think before we vote on it, we would also like to ask our attorney, Mike Dean, and Brian Jordan initially to join us, and potentially Mike Smith to join us later in the meeting.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Broghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes. My office before you have it set up for you.
You all back on? Make a motion to return from executive session. Second.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Broghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
Okay, would anyone like to read a resolution coming out of executive session? Resolution 2026-9.
I could read it. I move that we approve resolution number 2026-09, and I need to read the whole thing, is that correct, Mike?
Just the resolution.
You know the title or
Yeah.
summarize it?
Yeah. The resolution is 2026-09. It's a resolution approving an employment agreement with Mike Smith as the Executive Director of the Anderson Township Park District, authorizing the execution thereof and approving other matters related thereto. You know what, someone else needs to move, I withdraw my motion.
You can't withdraw the motion, but we can go ahead and read it. Somebody else can read it.
A resolution approving an employment agreement with Mike Smith as the Executive Director of the Anderson Township Park District, authorizing the execution thereof and approving other matters related thereto.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
So did,
Discussion?
so.
It was Jeff moving and,
Yeah.
yes, thank you, no, thank you.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Abstain.
Ms. Berghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate the confidence the board put in me to be executive director. I'm excited for the role. I look forward to working with our staff. Here at the Park District, we have an excellent staff. I look forward to working with them to continue the great work we do here in our mission to provide quality parks, facilities, and programs for the residents of Anderson Township. That's what we'll be about. So.
All right, next. Decisions. Old business follow-up. Anderson Park District Strategic Plan.
I'll go through this quickly. So projects for 2026, of course, are William and Neal, Jonathan Hills Park, and natural surface trail renovation. We're getting ready to mobilize back to the site. Winter, it's very hard to work on the trails back there with any kind of moisture at all. So we're getting ready to move into that after we open up the water plays here in the next week for Memorial Day, but that'll be happening soon. Labadee Park, a little later on in the board meeting, I'll be asking you guys to authorize the bid process for Labadee Park, which includes a new restroom building, a ADA access to the park, parking lot renovations, and a fence that goes in between us and the neighbors. If you guys approve that, that'll be put out the bid this week, and by the end of May, we'll have the bids back, and you guys will look to approve that next month at your board meeting. If all goes as planned, that project should wrap up before the end of December. If anything delays that process at all, it'll push it back into next year, which won't be a problem, but it'll delay it a little bit.
Mike, did that clear the Anderson Township zoning hurdle?
Yes, it went through the BZA process, and it was approved last Thursday night.
Okay, very good. Any more hurdles there other than us approving at this point?
The only hurdles is still plan review and the bid process. Branstad Carroll's got it in plan review with Henry County. It's pretty thorough though, so I don't expect many problems with that. And then the bid process will start.
All right, very good.
The couple remaining items, Clear Creek Bike Park, that's something Kim's been working on as well. She did some preliminary work on permitting there, but the company is actually doing full permit process for the project. And there are a lot of agencies that can have a hand in that permitting process down there at Clear Creek. So Kim gave great hands up to that company to help them out and kind of point them in the right direction because they're from out of state. So they'll be working to get the permits from multiple agencies to get that project going later this year. Riverside Park, I'm pleased to announce, is fully complete. The security lighting that went in that we talked about for the last several months, that finished up. So the project is complete now. We'll be able to fully report to you on the finances next month, but we were under the PO amounts for both the Moat side and the Musco side, and we were quite a bit under last year's original budget amount, so very pleased with how the project turned out. Nothing but good reviews. I know one of the local clubs had a tournament down there recently, and nothing but great reviews from everybody that used it. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Park improvement project status matrix, you just covered most of what you wanted to cover there?
Yeah, most of what I've got there is finished up. I talked about everything in the matrix for this year.
Very good. Old business.
No.
New business. All right. 4.1, pre-scheduled speaker Funberry Music Festival.
That would be me.
All right, Bill,
I don't
step up
think,
to the plate.
I'm
Bill.
actually not, giving a presentation per se. I sent in my permit request, I provided a presentation, then at the last meeting a couple weeks ago, I provided a layout so you could get a sense of the area of the park that would be used. And the event would impact about 5 soccer fields. But, so what I think, today is more, we were not able to ask questions for any clarification or anything like that. And that was why I'm here for the most part, is to answer any questions that anyone might have about any questions, concerns, things that weren't clear. That is why I'm here. Unfortunately, Tom could not be here today. As he's an advocate for this project, and he's been kind of working on a little bit of things and trying to help me navigate some things. But I should be able to answer those questions.
Any questions for Bill?
Yeah, I have several questions.
Sure.
My understanding is we're talking about 80,000 total people over a 4-day span, 20,000 a day. That's the number I'm hearing? Is that an accurate number?
Could be. I would, first day, there's no music. The fourth, that would be load in for campers. The next 3 days, you'd probably see anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people a day. It's hard to estimate on a first year festival, but based on what we would spend on our lineup, it could be anywhere between those two figures. 20,000 would be an excellent sellout type of event.
Sure, okay. So what happens with weather? It rains.
Yep.
We are all soccer fields down there.
Yes.
I can't imagine, and we don't have enough parking, obviously, to handle 20,000 people that are coming in with their cars on asphalt. We barely have enough parking to handle our weekend soccer's schedule that we have down there. So will we be parking people onto other soccer fields, not just the soccer fields you're talking about?
No, there's no plan to park on the grass at Clear Creek. I'm not going to use any of that space.
So where are you gonna park?
Well, I really can't disclose that
Oh.
or discuss that because until the park says
Understand.
yes.
So are you talking about the potential that you would be busing people in and using an outside parking location to bring people to the site?
There are a few solutions, yes, and that's one of them.
Okay.
Correct.
No, I'm just,
Yes.
you say ask questions, so I'm just trying to
Yes.
see how you, and I don't care where that happens to be, that could be Lunken Airport as far as I'm concerned, or Lunken Park or whatever.
Right.
But I just don't see how we can park
No.
legitimately all those people down there, and you're saying that you're not planning that?
No, sir.
Okay, so damage to the soccer fields, and excuse me for my ignorance, I've not seen the total proposal. If it rains,
Yes.
we have 20,000 people walking across our soccer fields, which is going to cause extensive damage to the soccer fields, because if it's muddy, it's going to cause a problem. What happens then?
Well, I would disagree with extensive damage, as I've done multiple festivals downtown at Renaissance Park. And we've had rain at Renaissance Park. For our Bellwether Festival, we had massive rain. And it does not do the damage. I provided some images from in my one proposed what Bunbury, what Sawyer Point Units Cove looked like after we had our festival, which had rain. So you are going to have some grass that's damaged. It can be repaired. There's a 6-week period when I'm proposing the festival for the soccer season. That's usually what the park board would spend on bringing back the grass. But we also use a lot of, you may have seen this, if you saw a concert down at FC Cincinnati, the way they protect that field is they have those large plastic, it's like a floating system that they put out to protect high traffic areas. Most of the damage occurs probably about 40 yards away from the stage, where most people congregate. A lot of other traffic, it's moving in and out, they're moving to other stages, they go to the bathroom, they go, but that's where most of the damage is concentrated. So that's usually what it looks like. And that is why I proposed there would be an escrow account with money put in it to do the repairs, and then of course there's all the stuff that we do to just try to protect the grass where we can. Like putting those platforms in place and not putting a lot of, I personally don't want to have certain things. We'd be using those paved areas as opposed to setting it in grass to minimize that damage.
What about, and I don't mean this in a rude way, just for people that would be attending.
Yeah.
But how are we managing crowd control situations with alcohol, drugs, that kind of a thing? Obviously, this is our park and we want to protect it from any problems, any issues, fights, problems, people overdosing, anything like that. How do you guys manage that?
Okay, and we have an excellent track record on this. And I think if you spoke with Cincinnati Police and Fire and EMTs, they would tell you that we do a great job at this. And never had a problem with the state of Ohio and our permitting and serving alcohol. We use all best practices. The event is totally fenced off, for one thing. There are multiple levels of security. We would be hiring detail, sheriff's department, we'd have detail. Believe it or not, for Bunbury, there were only 16 officers at the site. But we have now our own security companies that will come in to secure the site. And then we have what we call T-shirt security, which are people that are not armed, who are backstage and stuff like that. The people at the front of the stage with the big arms and yellow shirts. And so we have all these levels of security. We've never had a major incident at these festivals. This is not, the music that we program is all alternative rock, pop, and country, in those kind of genres. So we don't usually have any problems with fights breaking out. We've never had anyone overdose in an event. So we do everything in place, like a large bar might, for instance, or restaurant. We ID everybody. There's a limit to only, 2 drinks, like anything you've seen at the Reds or Bengals game. We follow all those protocols. People coming into the gate, everyone goes through metal detectors. If we get anything, we wand them. So it's a controlled environment. And when you insure an event like this, there's so many outside parties. Ohio department, their liquor. My insurance company. Everyone wants to see a certain level of professionalism and our bases covered, because nobody wants any of that garbage. I don't want that in my event either.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So just getting back to the traffic.
Sure.
32 is just a 2-lane road there.
Yes.
And, my problem is I just don't see how logistics work with getting those people in and out of there and not compromising the traffic patterns through Newtown. And does Newtown itself support the effort on this? Obviously, we're looking at the property, but how does Newtown and their police department and fire department feel about this? Because they'd be the ones kind of on call.
I don't really have that complete answer. I know that Tom has talked with some people that he knows with Newtown.
Okay.
And this is the process. I need a yes from you first, and then I have to go to the next solutions, which is ingress, egress, parking. And then water, power, there's all these things that I have to continue to work through. And then I have to understand if we're busing, for instance, and how many buses do we need? And I have to look at all these costs and my budget. And does everything continue to make sense? Now, we do have a sense of a traffic plan that we would use. The early part of the festival, it's not like everybody comes at once. It's a building of the crowd, over time. So I'm not worried as much about traffic at that point. It's the out.
Right.
So from 9:30 to 11:30, for 2 hours, you would have traffic. But you would have traffic just like you have at Riverbend or like you have at a Bengals game. Yes, There will be traffic, but you can mitigate it to some extent. But it's late at night too. At 9:30 to 10:30, 32 and by Clear Creek is really not that busy.
I would agree with that. I live in the area.
So yes, there is a And I personally think it would be a combination of at 9:30, like closures, except for through traffic, and it would just be out. Just getting everybody out, heading in either direction on 32. Either heading to 275 or, heading towards the Beachmont levee.
So when you say you need a yes from us, to me that means a soft yes. What does that mean? Like, we're interested, go forward with your next whatever?
Yes,
Okay.
it's yes, Bill, if you can solve all these issues. And then, by the way, after I do all this work, and let's say I figure it all out, then I have to go to my investor group and say, all right, guys, I think I found my location. This is how it's going to be done. This is how it's going to impact my budget. This is what we think the return will be. What do you think? They might be like, we don't like this. I mean, I could get stuck there too. There's so many levels to this. But I don't want to head down this road, and do a lot of this work and not have a venue. Then I'm in trouble, right? So the difference in with Bunbury at Sawyer Point and Eaton's Cove, as long as I took out the permit because there's a precedence for events and I met the criteria, I got the park. And then every year thereafter, I had a period to say, yes, I want it, because I was now a legacy event. So that's how it works there. With Bellwether, it was private property, so we knew that we had it secured, So it just depends on, this is a kind of a different circumstance because it is a public park, but your rentals, and even on the form, it's obvious it's about soccer games.
Right.
And other smaller uses.
Sure.
So it's getting a yes, but contingent upon,
Correct. I understand.
but I do think in what little work I've done, because I don't want to spend a lot of time pursuing things and having conversations with others until I know. I feel it's solvable. I feel that every problem can be solved. But
I appreciate it.
yeah, sure thing.
Anyone else?
I have some
Sure.
stickies on on the documents we have from you.
Sure.
There is, pardon me, under liability insurance, just in case y'all haven't read this, there is liability insurance, proof of insurance is required. And then it says limits of liability to be determined by Anderson Park District. Is that true? I mean, we determine what the limits of the liability are for the insurance?
Well, most properties are going to say it's into like a 1 to 5 million range, depending.
Okay,
And I forget what, honestly, the city of Cincinnati had for sort of what Eaton's Cove, like, I just don't recall. So usually a facility is going to have some type of,
like a standard.
correct.
Okay.
That's what I typically see, 1 to 5 million based on various factors.
I know in some conversations that Amy and Mike and I had, we talked about hold harmless release indemnification. That is also in the agreement that you signed.
Mhm.
Okay. Field repairs is a big one, I think for all of us, and it is for me as well. In the agreement, or I guess it's really not an agreement, it is called a special event request form.
Yes.
In the special event request form, it says field repair, and under that, it says only individuals with current APD field repair certification are permitted to work on APD fields. So that means if you leave, it's us that have to repair the fields. Would you agree with Mike?
It would be up to us, depending on, to make the repairs. We would definitely want to be a part of that process if the board would go that direction.
Which leads to another conversation that Amy and Mike and I had, which is this isn't just regular grass, it's sports grass, which I don't really even know what that means. So it's a special grass for soccer players. And somewhere further back, maybe in this document, the Clear Creek Park sample layout document, it says that you should have the area blocked, minimal use for 6 weeks to allow germination. So I don't know if that's reasonable for sports grass to get the fields ready. Is 6 weeks a reasonable amount for germination? That's the first question. And the second question is, it seems a small amount to me to designate $25,000 for field repair. That just seems like not a lot of money to me.
Mhm.
So those are the two questions. Is 6 weeks enough to get our grass going, and is $25,000 enough? And if it's not, I feel like we should have more money to be able to do that.
It's to the extent of the repairs that you might be able to get something that looks green, but to actually play sports on, it takes quite a few months to unless you're gonna completely sod back. And even then, it would take quite a few weeks for it to heal in, for it to be playable. Earlier, he said it would be about 6 weeks. Actually, it's about 3 weeks until after his last date of when he would be coming up. I think it's the 22nd. About 3 weeks later, we're laying out fields, people are starting to practice, goals are getting put out, all those things.
And $25,000 doesn't seem like a whole lot, Bill.
Okay.
I mean,
That was based on what Cincinnati Parks used to spend
Okay.
to do
So
repairs.
you know, we, just this spring in fertilizer, and our fertilizer had crabgrass control just like your house would, and the grub control, because we've had some grub problems. We spent about $23,000 just in one fertilization application this spring. So.
At Clear Creek
I
specifically.
Yeah.
If it was required, that would be something to negotiate. If you thought it required more money to repair, that could be talked about, that could be discussed. That was just a proposal.
okay. And is the camping a must? And I get that they're gonna they would park in the back
Yes,
where it's a must.
it's not a must.
Okay,
It's optional.
so that's an optional thing too. And if you didn't understand where that is, it's like in the back on the right-hand side, right?
Correct.
Okay, like in the back.
We call it the on-site, it's a storage site.
Right.
Kind of like where the motocross, the moto field is gonna be, behind that.
It's behind the bike pump track.
Got it, yeah.
And if, as I said, I did not know that in 3 weeks people will be using the fields for other things. I don't know if 5 fields could be out of commission for a little while, or if sod had to be the alternative to germination, that was, this is all the kind of thing, the back and forth and understanding. If it's like, Bill, you've got to sod it, okay, well then let's determine how much area that is, and then once again, then I have to sit there and go, what does that cost? Do I put down, it might be cheaper for me to rent more of the floating platforms, to put 50 feet out from my stages, or at least like to the mixed position, to protect the grass, that's an option.
Don't the floating stages though also kill the grass? They just kill it in a different way?
Well,
I mean, people tromping on it is if you have something not in the sun for, I don't know,
3
2
days.
weeks. Oh,
in other words, they
Only
Depends on
3
how
days.
long he puts them out for.
Yeah,
yeah, only 3 days.
And all that.
3
Yeah.
days, it would recover pretty fast.
okay.
so that it would have to be, well, Bill, we need you to sod. Okay, then what about if I protect it? Because that might be, I already have it in my budget of renting, it's probably gonna cost me $100,000 just to buy the platforms.
I think that's all I have for right now. Yeah, because you asked all my questions.
Right.
Thank you.
I just want to clarify, you keep saying that you only need 5 fields,
Yes.
but then you're saying also that you're gonna use the paved areas for like deliveries and heavy things to keep it
Yes.
off the grass.
Yes.
So just thinking about that, we're not gonna be able to use our parking lot during this time either. So it's, even though you're just using 5 fields, we also aren't going to be able to use the other soccer fields for any soccer. We're not gonna be able to rent those out.
Technically renting the whole thing,
Oh, you're renting the whole
renting the
park.
entire park,
The entire.
but the area that we would use for the event would be,
Okay,
it's kind of limited to that area.
okay.
Your park would be taken out of commission. Like you
Yeah.
you couldn't have
Right,
people
we
trying
couldn't
to
use it,
park and
yeah.
do the game. So my
Yeah.
proposal was to rent the entire.
You want, Kevin?
Good, thank you.
Well, Bill, thank you for the additional information.
Yeah,
thank you for
your time.
We
Appreciate
can,
it.
we'll contact you through Mike and
Okay.
let you know how to hit.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up under New Business Operations Division update, Mr. Smith.
Thank you guys. So you guys know that's Turpin Fisher. He's our neighbor and
Oh, nice to see you.
Pam, his
Yeah.
sister.
Turpin Farms. Right.
Turpin Farms, yeah.
Oh, you think?
They're coming after, asking us for parking. So
across the street.
I don't see how you can, I personally don't see how you can mitigate the cleanup.
Yeah.
That's, the repair sod is, in the fields is one thing, you know.
Yeah.
But, and when's this gonna happen supposedly?
June of 2027 is the proposed.
If you're gonna go, if you guys are gonna seed to try to get that germinated, you know how it is.
Yeah.
That's the worst time to seed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might know a little thing about that.
He's, that guy knows about
Wait a
grass.
second, I would double check that.
You're
You're a
doing-
sod
you're
farm,
doing
how do you
the-
know about grass?
Thank you. Thank
But
you
anyway, but yeah, it's,
No,
you know,
thank you.
Thank you for your
And
time.
No,
how do you
that-
get people across 32? That just,
Well, that would have to be
It's just-
completely
would be a
controlled by the
nightmare.
sheriff department and the traffic pattern. There's a lot of
It'd be
questions.
interesting.
Yeah, a lot of questions. So where would they park on yours? Would be
he
right,
wants to come across the street,
Be right straight
right
across
across
the
the
street.
street?
Yeah, we
and
have
then-
that
80.
2-lane wide bridge that comes across directly.
Correct, okay.
And, you know, he
He
the
didn't.
numbers that the other individual put out towards me, I mean, it doesn't even cover the season loss of the crops that were, I mean. it's
Well, yeah, I was gonna say,
gone.
doesn't it impact you
So we're
guys
gonna
from a
lose the whole
parking
season
standpoint
growing.
with your sod?
Well,
Well, how do we use our entranceway?
Well,
He
yeah,
says it's gonna be a 6-foot tall fence, but you know how people are.
People are like
They're gonna
cattle.
see a blacktop driveway that runs the entire length of there. So
it's a shame. It sounds like it could be an amazing
Are you guys-
event. I'm just
Are
not
you
sure
guys
that we have
officially
the
moving item
facility.
5.1 to right now?
We
No,
don't, this is
we're-
not anything. This
Oh,
is
this was
just
just a
a,
couple
it's
comments,
nothing,
yeah.
they're just.
Thank you,
Thank
Dave.
you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.
We-
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks for
they're
your
leaving, so
comment.
we're basically.
You're welcome to stick around under public comment.
Semi-public
Say something.
comment.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Mr. Smith, Operations Division.
I'd just like to take a moment to thank the operations department work they've done this month. We finished mulching the landscapes today, and that's pretty early. It's one of the earlier times we've ever finished. So been a good spring. The crew's done a great job. So that's all I have.
thank you.
No, the weather's been cooperative, being cool.
Yeah.
People work a lot.
And the weeds are gone, Mike, thank you
A
for
lot
getting rid of
faster
those
when
weeds,
it's cold
those
out
nasty
and
weeds,
roasting
yeah.
hot.
Ryan Basiliga did a nice job with it.
I'm getting
Thank
rid of
you.
the nasty weeds, yeah.
yes,
Recreation Division, Ms. Fall.
Yeah, I definitely want to point out Lauren Menkhouse and actually Tara and Leah help as well with our summer camp. We are really close to summer camp starting. Our final balances were due May 1st. So right now we're continuing some of the administrative work and contacting parents and making sure we're gathering all the information we need for the campers because they'll be there June 4th, which is really not that far away.
How many?
I think altogether there's like 250
Oh,
different, like each week we have a certain cap on that, but
wow.
250 different
God bless
campers will
you.
be coming, so, yeah. Camp counselor hiring is in the final stages. I've got orientation next week with some of the new hires. And then training for all camp staff will start right after Memorial Day. Another pretty cool project we had back on April 30th, the Aspire group. I'm not sure if you guys know, it's a program through Forest Hill School District and then also the Chamber, where it's high schoolers, they're sophomores. There's 11 from Anderson and 11 from Turpin that come. They actually spent the day up at Johnson Hills and they helped us restore our pollinator and rain gardens. And I know Monica Friedel and Mike Zeiss were on site. It's a kind of a passion project for Monica with the pollinator gardens. So we were very thankful. I know Kim had a hand in kind of getting the ball rolling with the group and setting up some stuff for us. But I think in the future too, there's going to be an educational interpretive sign that the school's going to pay for to be on site regarding the pollinators. So that'll be pretty cool. Shelter rentals, it's coming into birthday and graduation season. Most Saturdays and Sundays are reserved. Fridays are now starting to fill up. Everyone's getting pretty excited for that water play to open Memorial Day weekend. Getting lots of calls about that. Our instructional youth program started this week. That's our preschool soccer programs that we do, which continue to fill up. So we actually even added some summer classes, a couple more. So yeah, those are happening now. The Forest Hills 5K was this past Saturday, and a couple of our camp supervisors were on site. They were there in the booth, and they received many compliments. And I wanted to pass that along, that many people really enjoy our parks and obviously our programs as well. So if you want to look at the calendar of events, couple highlights tomorrow night. We have Trucks and Tractors down at Riverside Park. So we've got just about almost 300 kids signed up so far. So yeah, we are looking pretty good for that. The weather's supposed to be nice, which is always very helpful. Towards the end of the month in May, we do have our first Friday Fun event. That is on the 29th at Beach Acres Park. That's where the Cincinnati Chamber Orchestra will be on site, and they're going to be playing music like Disney music from Disney movies. In June, we of course have our summer concert series starting up on Thursdays. So Thursday, June 4th will be the first one, which is always our Monday night big band. So you should come on out, check those out. It's gonna be happening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very good, thank you, Jessica. All right, item 5 on the agenda, public comment. Well, public to address the board. This is a meeting of the Board of Commissioners for the purpose of conducting the Anderson Park District's business in public. This meeting is not a public hearing. That is, members of the public do not have the right to speak unless the board invites them to do so. Individuals who would like to share their opinions, comments, or concerns or topics should A, sign in at the attendance sheet at the door. You will be recognized by the board president during public commentary or at the discretion of the president of the board president. Remarks should be addressed to the board as a group and within a 5-minute time limit. If several people wish to speak about the same topic, the time limit may be adjusted at the president's discretion. Be prepared to respond to questions from the board members seeking to clarify issues. Whew. All right. Anyone wish to speak? Sean, you wish to speak?
Yeah.
Well, you're recognized.
All right. So it was brought to my attention that the vote that happened today was probably going to happen, and that engaging with an executive search firm was, you all put the kibosh on that last meeting apparently, which I think is extremely irresponsible when you have so many stakeholders that are looking to you to be good stewards of the parks. I have no problem with Mike Smith. No problems with you. I would have rather you submitted your resume to a search firm just like the Board of Education just recently did. Just like the Board of Education before that recently did. Like, it hasn't been that long since Larry Hook was hired. I think in both cases, that was the responsible thing of the school board to do. And internal candidates apply, and if you come out as the best candidate in a unbiased process like that, then that adds legitimacy to it. Right now, this decision doesn't seem as legitimate as it could be. And I expect that kind of irresponsibility from some folks on the board, like the ones who you chuckle, but the ones who have a pallet of White Castles delivered to their mom's house and refuse to pay the credit card bill.
I think we're done here.
Excuse me, sir, I'm not sure what kind of accusations you're making there, but I would not go down that path.
Oh, okay.
That's not, just say your piece.
Fine. I just don't think it's a very responsible decision to have made with all these stakeholders that are watching you or will be watching you. And then as far as the Bunbury Music Festival, it seems like he was very, besides an anecdote about how he approached somebody, your friend during, recently for parking. it sounds like probably busing people in from surrounding parking lots, which they will pay for, and bring more business to those people, would probably have been the wise decision that they would have made. And he seemed like he was willing to negotiate on prices, or negotiate on costs for new turf and reseeding. And I know it takes a while to grow new grass, but you could have built in some extra money into that contract. And I honestly don't understand why you let somebody speak to the board, have him scheduled, and then you've already made your decision. I guarantee it. I can't wait. So with that, I'm going to let you continue, and I'm just going to be quiet, and I'm going to be standing back here.
Very good, thank you. Anyone else?
No.
All right. Board comments.
To your comment about his presentation, that's the first time we've had him in front of us. So no decision has been made. I didn't see a vote taken. So to assume that we've already decided for or against it is premature. So that's my comment.
I'm good.
So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to take I hope I will have your grace in talking a little bit about this last year and as to why I abstained tonight from the vote for Mike. So first of all, this last year has been, I just don't even know how we could have had a busier year. Our longtime beloved in many respects by many people, Executive Director Ken Kushner, resigned in July 2025. Kim Farrell took over as interim executive director when Ken Kushner left through the end of the year in 2026. And then Mike Smith took over as interim executive director January 2026 to the present. And during that year, we began meeting with Anderson Township trustees and administration, and then we included the Board of Education to enhance our relationships and work together as a community of leaders. It's been a long time since we've been able to do that, and I think we're all encouraged by that progress. We did a community engagement study, primarily focused on Beach Acres property, with the help of our partner Branstetter Carroll. We did an economic impact study as to the parks and the community, how we impact the community, with the help of the University of Cincinnati. We continued with our capital improvement projects, and I'm going to leave some things out, so forgive me, these are the things that are highlights in my mind. We continue with our capital improvement projects from our capital improvement levy, most notably the all-weather fields and the lighting down there, and it's a big hit for sure. A majority of the board voted to not continue to support Anderson Day beginning in 2026. But we did start a new event called Oktoberfest in partnership with our amazing Parks Foundation and other community leaders. And I think we owe a special thank you to Jason Brewer. He has such a great name for being being in the beer industry, from Wandering Monsters, because it was his vision. He just needed help getting it started. And we had a great inaugural event, and it's continuing this year, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. We passed our operating levy, thanks to first the leadership of an amazing levy committee headed by community leader Ann Zimmerman and former board member Dominic Wolfer. Also with the support of our dedicated, hardworking park staff and our supportive community. And what all these groups have in common, the levy committee, our staff, and the community, is they love our parks. They love our parks. We know you love our park staff. We know it. And again, finally, tonight we hired Mike Smith as our executive director. So we've done a lot this year. It's been quite a year for sure. And again, throughout all these events, the one constant in work ethic, in spirit, in support, and in heart was our staff. Thank you to the staff. And I hope there are only a few of you here tonight, but I hope this message is passed on, either through the tape or the video. Voting for Mike tonight was, I gave a lot of thought about what to do, and I think you all know that I've struggled. When I say you all, I think the board knows. When we began this journey, I wanted nothing more than for us to be unanimous on who our next executive director is. I think it's really important as a board to be unanimous in such an important decision. Which is, again, why I want to explain my abstaining vote. Again, Kim began with us in April of 2024. Ken resigned July 2025, and the board appointed Kim as interim. Kim had really been doing a lot of the work already because of some issues that required Ken to be elsewhere, and so she really began in that role even before she was officially appointed. Kim got us to the end of the year, excuse me, with two major things, a brand new event, which was Oktoberfest in September, and a successful operating levy campaign in November. The board decided at the end of the year, because Mike also was interested in the permanent ED position, to give Mike a chance. And we all agreed, it was unanimous, to give Mike the same opportunity that Kim had. Around March and April, the board began earnestly talking about, well, what do we do now? We had two people that performed admirably during their tenures. What do we do with the executive director position? But we didn't have consensus. So the conversation went to looking into hiring a search firm, and to thoroughly explore all possible candidates, including Kim and Mike, if they wanted to enter the effort. Amy and I were tasked with the work of bringing options to the board. We first went the path of looking at a private firm, and all of this is public record. It's all public record. I'm not saying anything that I ought not talk about. So please feel comfortable with listening to this. We first went the path of a private firm. We learned there are significant differences between private firms hiring efforts for private companies and public interest government-oriented firms. And also there's a vast difference in how much we would spend. It was almost, I think, 4 to 5 times as much with a private firm versus a public firm. We came to a dead end on the private firm. So on April the 7th at our regular board meeting, we landed on hiring OPRA to do, that's Ohio Parks and Recreation Association, to do the search as experts in the field and the contacts they have throughout the state of Ohio and beyond at a fraction of the cost of a private firm. Amy and I were again tasked to bring an agreement with OPRA back to the board, and we had a special meeting scheduled for that purpose on April the 28th. We informed staff, well, let me back up a minute, I need my glasses. The day after our April 7th meeting, the day of the April 7th meeting, we informed Kim and Mike that we were going to use a search firm. And the very next day, we informed staff that we were going to do a search. And when I say staff, I mean senior level staff, and senior level staff communicated to their staff. And again, the purpose was to suss out, that's S-U-S-S, suss out all potential candidates, including Kim and Mike, through an informed, thorough, professional process. Amy and I went back and worked directly with the OPRA Executive Director, Woody Woodward, and we got an agreement. We went back and forth, I think 3 or 4 times, and we got an agreement, and it was a good agreement. And we also had input from our attorney, Amy and I did. And I just want to share with you all some of the things that were in that agreement. And I know the board has had a chance to read it, but not everybody maybe did. Things that Oprah was going to do for us. First, a needs assessment. Oprah would complete a comprehensive needs assessment to guide Oprah and the board through a search process, including facilitating a work session with the board to determine specific competencies the board seeks in an ideal candidate, conducting confidential interviews with key staff members and up to 5 key community leaders to gain their perspectives on the district and on the qualities they seek in an ideal candidate. Oprah also promised to interview all full-time staff, from the interim executive director to the people that cut the grass, all the full-time staff. And in light of these conversations, Oprah was going to make suggestions with regard to the position description, crafting a job announcement, and designed to attract the highest level candidates. The second thing they were going to do is recruitment. They would take every possible step to ensure the most qualified candidates from Ohio and throughout the region applied, including posting the position on all Ohio Regional and National Parks and Recreation Association recruiting sites and local government administration websites, utilizing an extensive network of Ohio regional and national parks and recreation leaders to identify additional candidates for the position. And they said they would leave no stone unturned. They would use social networking with media outlets like LinkedIn, Indeed, and Jigsaw. Some of these I've never even heard of. I'm not a big on social networking. To locate and contact both active and passive prospects for this position, including, at a specific request of our board, prospective candidates from outside the parks and recreation industry. Oprah agreed to serve as the collection point for all resumes and provide the district with periodic updates. The third thing Oprah was going to do, and I'm more than halfway through with this, I promise you, is evaluation. Once the position closed, Oprah would conduct an initial screening process of all candidates within 48 hours, identifying top candidates based on knowledge of the park district, the position, and the credentials presented by each candidate. Oprah would lead the board through the process of deciding which candidates to interview, including scheduling initial interviews, preparing summary and resume for each candidate, preparing a common list of questions for the board, leading the screening through the initial interview process and selecting 2 to 4 finalists, scheduling second interviews with each of the final candidates, preparing a common list of questions for the board for those candidates, preparing a writing response exercise with the final 2 to 4 candidates, and working with the board through the interview process with, with the 2 to 4 final candidates. Determining with the board additional interviews if they are required, and supporting the board through the selection. The fourth thing Oprah would do was reference check in cooperation with the park district, and prior to extending an offer to the selected candidate, Oprah would facilitate a detailed reference check on the candidate, including references provided by the candidate, a background check, and an extensive social media check on the candidate. Fifth thing, if we wanted it, Oprah agreed to conduct a negotiation, acting as an intermediary in the sensitive and detailed negotiating process. And the sixth thing, which was sort of my favorite thing, was that Oprah agreed to follow up, which was they would initiate regular contact with the new hire and the board on at least a quarterly basis for 1 year post-hire, as its role in ensuring a successful hiring and smooth transition. So that's what Oprah was going to do for us. So we come to the meeting on April the 28th, which is the special board meeting. Jeff was not here. Jeff was in Chicago, and the board pivoted, and the majority decided to hire Mike as an executive director instead of doing the search. We informed Mike and Kim. We informed Mike immediately that night. We informed Kim. I'm sorry, I don't recall. I believe it was the next day, but it might have been within 2 days, because I need to make sure that everybody that I could contact or who would contact me back was on board with my doing that. And we informed staff this morning. And then we put the resolution for hiring Mike and a draft contract online at 1 o'clock today. Kim did that. All that's background, which comes to the reason for my abstention. So I used to think when I was younger that abstentions were for times when, as a board member, you had conflicts of interest or you just didn't want to take a position. And as I've grown older and had more involvement experience in boards and volunteer activities, I have found that's not the case. I did a quick search just to check myself, and a pretty common definition of abstention is the formal voluntary act of refraining from doing something, most commonly withholding a vote in an election or decision-making process. In voting, it's a choice not to vote for or against a motion, proposal, or candidate, often due to conflicts of interest, neutrality, or lack of support for the options. I'm at the lack of support portion, and I'll tell you why. I can't, in good faith, after our board decided on the course of doing a search and communicating that with staff that was the plan, which then became the staff's expectations and the community's expectations, I can't, in good faith, support tonight's vote and just ignore all that. Mike, I want nothing more than for you to succeed, to shine in your new role, to lead your staff with collaboration and compassion and by example, to propel the Park District through to its next chapter, especially in decisions regarding beach acres, which are still out there. I will support you and help you in any way that I can as a board member. I wish you only the best, because your success translates into a thriving Park District for our community. Thank you for indulging me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy?
Good.
Kevin? Good. All clear?
All clear.
There we go. Next item on the agenda, 6.1, staff changes.
Yep, so we have 5 recreation staff, 1 camp counselors, Jack Boger, Scott Koopman, Molly Schuster, Edie Wolfer, Catherine Waldfogler, I butchered her name, apologize. On the operations staff, 2 part-time, Doug Seabaugh and Brady Sutton, and then we were able to hire a full-time operations specialist, landscape, John Ganna.
I do want to point out to the board, John Gannum is the brother of the person that does the spraying for the Park District for bug spray and exterminator inside. So I do want to point that out. Also, Brady Sutton, my sister mentioned to a coworker that we were hiring. I don't know Brady, I don't know his mother, but my sister did give the information to Brady's mother about a position here. So I just wanted to point that out to the board.
All right, thank you, Mike. Do we have a motion to approve the staff changes as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Berghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
All right, 6.2, purchase orders.
Yes, I just have one purchase order this month to be approved. It's a Withamsville Winelson Company. It was for backflow and valves for Beach Acres Park for the repair there for $9,090.49 for out of the operating.
Yeah, Mike and I had a discussion about this. This is not an elective piece of equipment. It's required. It's required by code and permit. And the timing of the such was that we needed to get it ordered and get it in because we're trying to make our not only watering season, but provide water for the spray ground. Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
So with that said, I already knew about it. So, but we have a motion to approve Winelson.
Make a motion to approve the budgeted purchase orders.
Second.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yep.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
All right. What is next? 6.3, 6.4, cybersecurity program?
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit, way back, either last fall or early this year. Per the state of Ohio, House Bill 96, we need to have a policy, that sets and adopts standards and safeguarding against cybersecurity threats. So currently, I'm not gonna go through the whole policy because obviously it's, cybersecurity, and it's not anything that'll be out to the public. But we do work with Vitus Technologies for our IT. All employees watch quarterly trainings regarding cybersecurity. Our policy covers reporting of attacks, data retention, backup and recovery, and network security. And obviously, this is not a public document. You guys have copies, but just looking for a motion, we need to have it in place by July 1st.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-07 and adopt the new cybersecurity program.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll?
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
Thank you, Kim.
6.5, credit card authorization.
This gets reviewed and approved every 3 months. From the credit card list, nothing has changed from the last approval 3 months ago.
Okay,
Everything's the same.
thank you for that update. So we'll make a motion to approve the authorized credit card holder list as is presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll?
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
Nice. 6.6, APD authorized credit card holder list is that one. 6.7, board members, what are we doing with that one? Next foundation attached as a memorandum of understanding. All right, 6.7, board member ex officio positions, Anderson Foundation for Parks and Recreation attached. What are we doing with that, guys?
So that's, the board normally appoints 2 people to be on the foundation.
That one, yep.
Yeah, so that'd be up to board discussion on who you guys would like to carry out those duties.
Who was on last year, do you remember?
Kevin was the primary contact and Julie was the secondary.
Okay. Well, first of all, do we have nominations or is anyone else expressing an interest to be involved with that?
I'm already on the,
Records or
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive?
plan, so I think it probably should not be me.
Okay.
Kevin and I soft talked about it,
I'm happy to continue unless someone else would like to
about
have that
maybe
opportunity.
continuing in our same roles if you all are okay with that. We were always present. I mean, one or both of us was always there.
I think consistency also helps, because you know what's going on.
Plus you take copious notes. All right, I have no problem with that, so do I have a motion to appoint back Mr. Comerford and Julie as the representatives for the,
I make a motion to appoint Mr. Comerford and Mrs. Bissinger to ex officio positions on the Anderson Foundation for Parks and Recreation Board of Directors.
I will second that.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
Laverty Park project, Mr. Smith.
So attached to your agenda was the documents for Laverty Park we talked about earlier in the meeting. It's for a restroom building, ADA access to the park, parking lot renovation, and a fence that goes in as well. If you guys approve to go out to bid tonight, then it will be in the paper this week. The bid's in, I forget, it's towards the end of May, it's the last week of May. Then you guys would approve those bids in next month's board meeting, if finalized.
Can that advertise be collected in, because
I'll have to really work with Mike Dean.
I think we're right on the line.
He's reviewed the packet already, Mike Dean, our attorney.
Okay.
It's in the paper for the correct number of days, so if it comes back, it'll be just in time. So you might not be able to approve it at the June meeting. If not, then it'll be at your next board meeting.
Okay. And this is approved in the capital budget?
Yes.
It's in the capital improvement budget.
Plus, we also received the Metro Park funding from, it's a Department of Transportation funding from Hamilton County Parks earlier this year, and I think that was roughly 75,000.
Might have been 7.
I have it here somewhere.
That's an issue, it's around 75.
It's in that
Yeah.
ballpark.
Yeah, I remember that. Great job on that, because that'll allow us to pave the whole parking lot when we're done.
79,150.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I need a motion. I'll make the motion. Motion to approve the construction documents and move forward with advertising the bid packet.
Second?
Any discussion?
Ms. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
Okay, 6.9, master plan, Beach Acres Park. Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. So I sent you guys the agreement for Beach Acres feasibility study and master plan, which includes a needs assessment and an inventory like we talked about in the last board meeting that you guys directed me for. I will tell you, I know I asked for a motion to approve this tonight, but I would like you guys to delay it until next month. I reached out to Forest Hill School District and Anderson Township and asked them to put their input in to make sure they're good with everything, because we have had the joint meetings and I want to make sure we're all working together well. So I asked them for their input. So I want to give them a little more time. This came together kind of late last week, so I didn't give them enough time to respond. So I want to make sure we do that. And the second part to that is I wanted to see if you guys wanted me to request the township pay for a portion of the study to see what your guys' thoughts are.
Do you remember, Mike, when I just saw on my calendar, our next joint meeting is scheduled for June?
I have it. I was going to tell Richard it was it's June 11th at 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great that you did that. Did I interrupt you?
No, go ahead.
There are two sort of rules of thumb. You never want to surprise your staff or your executive director in a public meeting. Give a person an opportunity to answer questions in private, or your board leadership.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. I did have a few questions that after I read it, it's nothing I don't agree with, but I know that there was a bigger plan, and I want to know. I need to look at it a little more, maybe have a one-on-one conversation with you as to how we got to where we are.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, without doubt. I would love to talk with you about it.
Great.
I think the majority of the documents stayed the same, so I think the differences are small. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we went from 134,000 to 85,000, so there's a difference in scope, and we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk. I don't think the whole board needs to be involved in that discussion.
Yeah, I mean, under professional services contract, as that would be,
Yeah.
there's a right to negotiate.
Right.
And
Well, we know, we've told him to go back. I mean,
but Mike told him that, hey, you've already gathered a lot of data from us on these other
Yeah.
park projects you've been on. And I think it was important that we take a look at, that we hone in on this being a master plan, because we wanted to evaluate all of our parks in this to see if we have enough walking trails, if we have enough parking, if we have enough restroom facilities, if we have enough of those things, or are we missing the boat on something else? And so with that regard, I was thinking we would not just call this a master plan for Beach Acres, because it's much more than that. Beach Acres is included in that, but so are our other facilities.
Yeah.
So we'll look for that to be a name change in that as well. I don't want to give somebody the impression that we're just honing in on Beach Acres, because we're not in this particular master plan overview. I know the township's working on their comprehensive plan, and everybody's got some balls in the air. School district's busy with trying to get somebody hired, all the above, right? So we were trying to, I asked Mike to back off just a little bit and give everybody a chance to get through this. To my knowledge, and you don't know of any either, Mike, do you? We don't have a time frame for this one. I mean, we're not under the gun for, okay.
No.
So if we put this off, give a little time for school and park, or township and the school district to review and get it in front of their boards and possibly make some comments. But yes, I think we would ask you to reach out and say, if this is a collaborative agreement, is there some interest in joining us with some of the funding? I would think so. And I don't speak for everybody, but I see some head shaking. Any other comments or questions from Mike? We good with that agreement?
So the direction will be to go back. I'll let them comment, but I'll go out tomorrow. Hey, as part of this process, would you be willing to help fund a portion of the project?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
On both of those. Brian, financial matters.
All right. First, I'd like to start off by saying that I got an email on Monday, and everyone else on the board should have too. They're going to start our 24 and 25 audit here soon. Just wanted to let the board be aware of that. Everyone should have got a questionnaire. And if not, reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with the person that sent it.
I remember we filled those out.
Yeah, 24 we did.
Yes.
I found mine.
But I'd
I
be
used
darned
it
if I
for-
can remember what they're actually looking for in some of that information
You
because,
can reach out to me.
okay, yeah. All right.
Preliminary, a lot of questions about fraud.
Yes, there was.
So, and besides that, I have no comments on the revenue status and appropriation status. But we get to the cash journal, I can highlight a couple of bigger items for the month.
All right.
Unless you have any questions on the revenue or appropriation status.
I don't have any. Anyone else? All right, 7.4, appropriation status, or 7.3, I apologize.
So for the revenue and the appropriations.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and do we have authorization on expenditures? That's what you want to hit next?
Yeah, the
Cash journal,
Yeah.
all right, let's do that. 7.5,
So
cash journal.
highlight a couple of the items for first couple of the bigger expenditures for the month. On 4/16, we wrote a check that purchase order was opened for before for $47,092.50 for Harold's for fertilizer. And just to let you know, next time we get fertilizer, the prices have been going up.
Mm.
As people know, so that'll be even more expensive next
Not a
time.
conflict.
Then we also, another purchase order item that was paid was the Deere and Company on 4/24. We purchased 2 new John Deere Gators for $26,506.40. And then on the revenue side, we received this net second half payment of the real estate because we did the advance at first, and that was on 4/17. And for the general fund, we had $1,456,289.20. For the bond fund, out of that, it was $117,404, and that's for the 2023 bond for Beach Acres Park. And then they also took out the fees, which also included the fees for the election that occurred for operating levy, and the total of that was $62,172.17.
And Brian, was the revenue in at projected levels?
It was a little above.
Good.
I'll go back to the revenue status for that one. Right now, we're at 55.171% for what we had budgeted
Okay,
out of that.
very good. So we need approval on that, 7.6?
Yes, on all three combined.
All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports and authorize expenditures for April 2026.
second. Any discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Berghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
All right, item 8, minutes of previous meetings. We have minutes from the April 7th, 2026 meeting and minutes from the April 28th, 2026 meeting. We'll do those in separate motions. I'll first make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 7th, 2026, regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners as written.
Second.
Mr.
Discussion?
Rosa? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Discussion? All right, roll please.
Mr. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes,
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Berghammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comer?
Yes.
and you were out on this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 28th, 2026, special meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Rosa?
Abstain.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Brookhammer?
Yes.
Mr. Comfort?
Yes.
We do not need to go to executive session, correct?
Yeah, we
We
do.
do.
We do, yeah.
Could I just, before we do this, and if I'm out of line, not, out of line in the sequence of events, it's because I think we have a time constraint. Going back to the Funberry 4.1, I know Bill Donavedian is waiting for us to say either, yes, go to the next step, do your due diligence, and then come back to us with a proposal, or no. And I also know that time is important for him because he's talking with other potential locations. So I should have probably brought this up under 4.1. When are we gonna have that discussion? I mean,
Did he give us a time? I did not hear it if he did.
he didn't tonight, but he did before. It's gonna be within weeks,
Well,
like a couple, 3 weeks. That was what he
I
said
think
last time, I think.
Right now, it's a standard permit request, and I think we follow up with Mike and let Mike respond to him. Mike can follow up with us individually.
I don't know what that means. He gets a consensus of the board from individual discussions and we don't discuss it as a group?
We're not,
I think
there's no
the
motion in front
typical
of us.
process for an event is the application
Yes.
goes to the director and the director vets that.
Yes.
We never vote on events.
That's not true. And we can vote on events, especially when they come to us directly and it's an event of this size. I would think as a board, we would want to discuss it because it's whatever is decided. It's not like I want to have a party in one of the facilities. This is a big, huge deal. I think it deserves our consideration and discussion. I just do. And if you disagree with me, that's fine.
I just think we need more information. I mean,
I'm not there
based
yet.
on what he shared with us tonight, I think there's stuff I need to find out more about, like these costs he was talking about, the impact. I mean, obviously we had a public presence that's concerned about it, that's across the street. What's the impact on them? How's that gonna work? I mean, I'm not for or against it at this point. I just wanna know more details about it. So I don't think we have those details right now.
Yeah, so you guys know, our biggest soccer user, our biggest club that rents, he's reached out and was very concerned about the concert being there on 5 fields. Our fields, we allow only one season every 7 seasons to rest. So about every 3.5 years, one field gets to rest for 1 season, which is not a lot. Compaction and the overuse we have is a big issue. The other thing I just real quick would be, I did get a call from Hamilton County Sheriff, and they were very concerned about the 32 and all the other, and being able to staff it with other events and things in the area. So I didn't get a chance to say that, so I did want to point that out to you guys. So.
Yeah, and we've had, Amy and Mike and I had a really long discussion about it. And Bill, and I think Tom Hodges was with them for some of it, did go through the proper process with Mike, and I think Mike and didn't Scott Lahman meet?
Scott Lahman and myself,
And
yeah.
Mike said, yeah, probably not. And then we were contacted by Tom Hodges, and you know that whole story. Can we come see you? This is a big event. It could be life-changing for our community, and we really want to come see you and talk to the board about it. And we allowed that at the last meeting. And they had about 5 minutes each to talk about it. I think what I hear Mr. Donavedian saying is, I would love to give you more information, but I can't completely do my due diligence until you give me this is a possibility, this is a potential go-ahead, and I'll go back and gather all this stuff about parking, and I'll talk to the sheriff, and I'll talk to the village of Newtown. We haven't been able to do that for him. Again, I'm not advocating any way right now, but we can't just let it sit. I mean, unless you say as a board, yeah, we can. The process is the process, and we don't need to do anything other than the permit process, and Mike's already said no, and that's the end of it. I mean, that's our decision. So, that's it.
Well, I don't know that I'm comfortable treating it as an agenda item tonight. No one is here from the public to make comment on that. It was not advertised in the agenda as a agenda item. I don't know that it's, if you're calling for a vote, I don't know that officially we can even do that.
Well, I'm not calling for a vote. It is on the agenda, though. It's pre-scheduled speaker Funberry Music Festival.
Correct. He was just speaking about it. It was not.
Right. It wasn't a presentation of a motion.
Correct.
For us to have to vote on it tonight.
I'm not suggesting we vote on a motion. I guess I'm trying to see if there's any will on behalf of the board in letting him go to the next step.
Well,
That's not a motion.
My concern about that is the way he made it sound was we have to approve his permit and then he'll do all this work. Well, what happens if he does all this work and there's things that we're not happy with,
We haven't signed anything.
but we approved his permit?
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I could have just missed it.
No, that's what he said.
Well, I missed it, I'm sorry.
No, and that's my concern is I don't have enough information to say I'm for or against the permit. He answered some questions tonight that I was very happy that he was able to answer some questions. And I did recommend, like what are you gonna do with parking? Are you gonna bus? And at that point, it sounded like that was possibly an option. And then all of a sudden we hear from the public that they're talking about parking across the street. So that doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies about the traffic patterns through that area. I live in the area, and I'm telling you that is, during Soccer Sunday, that is a zoo, and that's just some soccer fields. So again, I'm not against it. I would love to see something like that. I'm a concert guy, so I would love to see something like that. I just don't think right now I'm sitting with enough information for me to say one way or the other that I would go for or against, so I have to lean on you guys who have been in those meetings that we haven't been in as to what you're thinking.
What is the process, Mike? I'm sorry, I don't know where my mind was, but I missed the discussion about the next step for him would be to get a permit approved before he can do the next step of his due diligence. Is that what he said?
That's what he's wanting us to do, is to approve his permit. He's turned in a special permit form, which everybody that has a special event with the Park District does.
And what does that, I know I'm a lawyer, but I'm asking you because you live in this world and I don't. What does that mean if we approve the permit?
So we evaluate it as a staff to see if it's something that can work from the Park District standpoint. Scott Lahman, he looks at the event. He usually handles those bigger events. He involves the executive director to come in to look and see with it. With this one, he involved me, and we looked at the event. We met with Bill at my office, went through the event with him. It changed a little bit from the first time we met to the second. I expressed with him the concerns I had with Clear Creek Park has over 200,000 people a year that already recreates at it. And by taking the risk with what he wants, I can show you, I know he's not worried about the grass, but if you look at, I know Lollapalooza is a lot bigger event that happens in Chicago, but same thing, it's people in a confined area. They do it at that park in 2019. They do it on about 6 ball diamonds. In 2019, the weather changed like you were asking, Jeff, and there wasn't a speck of grass left, and it cost $655,000 to replace the grass in that park that year.
So my practical question is not the process itself and the nitty gritty, but what is the practical effect of saying we approve your permit? I mean, does that mean we approve the festival?
We would authorize him if depending on how we did it, we could, I'd have to really think through.
I want to know legally if we say
to-
yes on the permit, does that only give him the ability to go forward with his next steps?
I
So
would
we're
have
not
to-
like signing a contract where he actually is going to do the festival.
I would have to contact Mike Dean to see if
I
it
think
would obligate us
I think that's a
to.
key question because it might be neither here nor there. If we approve the permit, it only gives him the ability to do more due diligence and come back to us with more answers.
Yeah, I'm okay if that's the case, but that's not how it came across to me in the discussion I had with him. It sounded like he wants the permit approved, then he'll go and figure out all the rest of the stuff. And he,
Yeah,
his
he's gonna
comment,
clear hurdles.
I think I can figure it all, I can get it all figured out, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is not a statement, so please, I want to be on the record, I'm not for or against it at this moment. I just need more information. But he made it sound to me that if we approve the permit, then he'll go ahead and do all that stuff and figure it all out. But basically, we'd be telling him to go forward.
But we're not
approval of the permit.
obligated to have that festival unless we sign a contract with him. The permit doesn't make us, here's what you need to do, Mike. You need to see with Mike Dean
Obligates.
what it means if we, I don't know legally what it obligates us to do if we we approve his permit. Because I don't think, I don't know, I don't know.
I don't know either, and I would be concerned because he's a business and we'd be telling him to go ahead and he'd be spending his resources to try to do it. That would be my concern, but Mike Dean would have to tell us if it
And you think he'd be on the hook
obligates
for
it.
that?
I don't know if it would or not.
That's the question.
That's
What
a
are we on the
that's a
hook for
question
if
for
we
Mike
approve the
Dean,
permit?
yeah.
Do we still get to say no at the end
What's
if we
the
find
practical
out, wait a
effect of
second,
approving the
we
permit?
can't do that?
That's it.
So let's reconvene with Mike, let Mike talk to Mike Dean, and if we need this on the agenda item next month, we can put it there.
I think we may, this is neither here nor there probably, I think we may lose it by then. We may lose the festival, he will have gone somewhere else, but maybe not, and that shouldn't affect how we proceed. But I wish we knew to ask that to Mike tonight.
Well, I mean, you shot some pretty big holes in some of his things in his thing that he
Oh, no,
presented to us.
I was.
Yeah, I mean, there were some
just-
issues there
Yeah,
that he
no, no.
needed to clean up,
Yeah,
and I
no
didn't
kidding.
hear him clean them up, and he said he's not gonna bother with that until, he gets the approval and everything, and I understand the line of, chain of custody there, but I think let's have Mike talk with Mike Dean, please.
We have a plan.
Yeah.
Do you understand, Mike? Are you good?
If that, yeah. if
That's the direction
Great.
at this point, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me go back.
All right. Where are we at? Oh, we are convening to executive session.
Just for property, right, Mike?
Yeah, if that's what you guys would like.
Yeah.
Do you have that? This
Motion to adjourn to executive session as permitted by section 121.22 of the ORC, G1 and G2, to consider the appointment, promotion, or compensation of a public employee and official, and to consider the purchase of property for public purposes. Furthermore, invite Mike to join the park board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, sorry, Kevin can do it.
Ms. Rosa?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Yes.
Ms. Bissinger?
Yes.
Ms. Programmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Will you kill the air conditioning, Mike?
Are you cool?
Good Lord.
Sean, are you staying or are you planning on going?
Any decisions happening after?
I believe there will be one decision after executive session.